It's basically a film about a character named Wallace, who's fairly disenchanted where he's wound up with in his life, and decides to fake his own suicide and start anew, which I think is something that most of us can relate to, even for a split second. What would I do if I could start over from this moment on? And as he goes out into the road to achieve his dream of becoming a golf pro, he encounters a character named Mike, and she's on a similar trajectory. And through both of them assuming other people's identities, they kind of act as a mirror for each other, and in hopefully a non-heavy-handed way figure out who they are.
I play Mike, who's a very lost soul, and she's convinced herself that she's going the same way as her mother and her sister, who ended up being paranoid schizophrenics. And so she's fearful of any kind of connection with anyone. And the only way that I think she feels comfortable physically and emotionally connecting with anyone is taking on a new identity. So it's this theory of the more you mask yourself, the more free you are and the more able you are to have some kind of connection.
I also think there's a theme which I feel is very much in the air in a lot of stories that I'm reading and seeing about displacement and people questioning what they amount to. Particularly stories about people the age of my character, my age, which is, you know, looking at someone who's done a bit of an inventory of his achievements and his life, and he's not very happy with what he comes up with. He's made a mess of his family life. He doesn't consider himself a success by any measure. And the closest he ever got was this fantasy, which, you know, of having been a sportsman of some kind, you know. So the golf thing looms as what he thinks is his chance at redemption. The whole grammar of the film is the shifting in tones as these people's identities reveal themselves in different ways. You know, they're hiding from themselves as well as each other, and then the way they bust each other then ends up being a revelation, you know.
But I think there's comedy to be found in those scenarios, but also there's a poignancy that goes with that these people are trying to escape.
Well, those are the shifts in tones. Sometimes it might be wry, it might be funny, sometimes it's actually a genuine shock in absolute terms, you know, trespassing in other people's houses, stealing, pretending to be other people, having sex while dressed as other people. I mean, that's a change of tone from the rather banal beginnings that we catch a glimpse of. You know. So, you know, that's, I think it basically, you're invited to experience it in terms of those rather surprising shifts.